Hey, what is going on, Replonauts? It's your boy, Sanjay Jenkins, aka the Mamba of e-commerce, Mamba Funnel, whatever you want to call me. You can probably just call me Sanjay. We are back again for another CRO Rodeo. Back for another CRO Rodeo. And the purpose of today's episode is we're going to do a CRO, a quick teardown, quick audit, go through some funnels, look at some landing pages, and we're going to talk about how a particular store, and this happens to be a Replo customer, what they can do to improve their funnel. One of the things that we love doing here is looking at ads. I love looking at ads. I look at ads all day, every day. So we're going to look at their ad account through Facebook Live Ad Library, and then we're also going to take a look at their stack via Built With. Now, these are all publicly accessible things. We're not going to go into any privatized information like, secret builds that they might be doing since they are a Replo customer. That being said, we should hopefully see some Replo pages in their funnels. So today's episode is on Bonlook. Let me share my screen. Let's go here. Here we go. We've got Bonlook, which is a DTC eyewear business. Love the folks over at this team. They've got a couple different brands all within the eyewear space. This is one of their main ones. They're based up in Canada. It's up relative to me, Dallas, Texas. Shout out Texas, baby. I even got my handy dandy Texas coffee mug ready to rock and roll. I'm getting sidetracked. I get really excited about these because I really do love doing like funnel teardowns, but we're going to keep things efficient. I know the first couple episodes were on the longer side. I think we had like probably an hour and a half on the first rodeo. But this rodeo in particular will be a bit faster. We're going to try to get this done in about 20 to 30 minutes. Hopefully I don't go over because your boy loves to yap. I'm like a certified yapathon runner. I'm Yap King Cole, if you will. But it's just because I love funnels and I love conversion rate optimization and I love looking at websites and I love looking at e-com stacks. So with that crazy, absolute unhinged intro out of the way, let's take a look at the site. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a quick scroll through their homepage. Then I'm going to pull them up on Built With, and then we'll kind of like start to and then we'll look at their ads, and then we'll kind of start doing the teardown from there. So when you come up to their homepage, you got this big, beautiful hero. The winter sale is on. Savings that go with everything. Glasses starting at $45 and free shipping. Shop winter sale. We'll talk about this in a second, and then they go straight into kind of like different styles and collections, sorting by women and men. I'm going to assume that it's defaulting to women because that is probably their best customer cohort, and where a lot of their ad traffic is coming from. And then they've got eyeglasses on sale, different little collection lists or featured collections rather. And then we've got this is cool. This is a fun little kind of like style, like lookbook inspired. I'm excited to explore those reviews and their footers. A pretty straightforward homepage. Let's take a look at Built With. Okay, off the rip, I'm seeing some cool stuff here. Attentive, which is an SMS marketing platform. It's probably like the 100-pound gorilla in the DTC SMS space. Definitely like probably the largest, I believe, by customer size and by revenue, I would imagine. I think in the Shopify ecosystem, not for sure, but I'm pretty confident that's the case. I have not personally used Attentive. But I know a lot of brands that do. A big thing there is like shared short codes, which we can talk about ad nauseum later. But it's just good to see that they've got SMS marketing as a priority in their stack. The second thing that I see, which I think is really neat, is Eyewear, which is a data collection tool. I guess is probably like the easiest way to kind of articulate what it is. But basically, what it does is it captures a lot of data on your website and then passes it back over to your ad platforms like Facebook to help get around some of the limitations caused by iOS 14, 15, 16, 17, all of the iOSs, all the updates, all the new privacy changes. I have only used Elevar a couple times, but I do think that it's probably like worth exploring for just about any brand. I do think that it provides a meaningful impact. And again, I'm not paid to say this. This is something that I've noticed from the very limited installs that I've seen. We've got the old, I don't know what Simon data is. I'm curious to know if it's specific to eyewear, considering the little eyewear kind of are the glasses. I might be an owl, but something to look into. Supership, not familiar with that. GA4, Facebook, TikTok Pixel, Microsoft Clarity. Got to get those heat maps. Microsoft Clarity is a free heat map software. Obviously, you're just sharing all your data with Microsoft. That's what you are, the product, but it is a really good tool. Something I highly recommend. If you're not going to use Microsoft Clarity, I do recommend checking out our friends over at heatmap.com, mostly because they layer in some specific revenue stats directly within their heat maps, which I think is really cool. It's just an additional layer that a tool like Microsoft Clarity does not provide. Obviously, heat maps is a paid tool, but something worth checking out. Boost Commerce product filters. Okay, so I'm sure that's, for something with such a large catalog and things like sizing or prescriptions, important. Weglot, which is a translation app, familiar with that. We actually integrate quite well with them. Let's see, Shopify, Boost product filters. They're using a custom theme, and continuing on, pretty standard stuff. Sezzle for buy now, pay later. Yeah, nothing crazy. I'm always curious to know the effectiveness of Criteo, which I guess is like an ad platform of sorts. I've personally only ever heard like horror stories, but that's not really fair to them. I've never used it. I'm sure there are people that have a lot of success with it. I'm not terribly familiar with it, but it is worth calling out. I think it's kind of an interesting thing. Outbrain. Okay, this is fun. Outbrain's actually, yeah, I think it is the same Outbrain that I'm thinking about. Outbrain's pretty cool. So this is like the whole world of like native advertising. So what is native advertising? What is that relative to like your standard social advertising, or like your search advertising? So search, let's just call it like Google, Google's search ads, Google ads in general. Pretty linear stuff, pretty self-explanatory. Like you search something in Google, or you've got a YouTube ad, you've got your little slide display ads, those sorts of things. Pretty neat stuff. Pretty standard. Facebook ads, TikTok ads. Again, most of us are familiar with that. Native is really interesting. Native is typically it comes out like a lot of display networks as well, but you're most often going to see native advertising, and it's going to be Taboola and Outbrain. They're like the two big players. I think they tried to go through a merger and it was blocked or something. But these are like the ads underneath major like news articles. So you go to like CNN.com or Fox News or whatever, and you see those like really like, kind of razzle dazzle, kind of, you won't believe what, seniors over 65 in your neighborhood, or, those sorts of things. Now, some of those ads, it can be kind of intense, kind of crazy. There are obviously ways to like not be super like cringy about it. If it converts, it converts. That's kind of like my take on it. I'm a big direct response guy, so like I respect it. However you make your buck, as long as it's legal, obviously. But I think that native advertising is often overlooked for direct to consumer in the Shopify ecosystem. If you kind of expand beyond, like you go into the upper like tiers of Shopify stores, you're going to see people use that. And then you kind of go into e-commerce well beyond the Shopify ecosystem. Native advertising is very, very common, very big amongst affiliates. But it's just cool to see that. Even if they're not like driving a ton of traffic to it, it's just cool to see. Rev content. I think it's Rev content. I don't think it's Rev content. Another similar thing in the native advertising space. Triple Whale. Got to get your sales data. I'm curious to know if they're using the Pixel or not. But it is good to see that they're using Triple Whale for their like dashboarding, which it's just good to have all that information. I personally have a couple of Triple Whale dashboards on my phone that I check on a regular basis. And then Zendesk, looks like they're using Zendesk for customer service. And then that's all pretty standard stuff. Envoy, open source edge and server. So I'm curious enough if that's like a page speed thing they're testing there. But overall, pretty standard Shopify stack. I think the most interesting thing is probably like the Boost product filter because of the type of catalog that they have in Eyewear, and I'm sure there's a ton of variants, which we're about to get into. And then obviously like the Attentive and the LFR. I think those are the other two major callouts from their stack. Pretty cool stuff. Good setup so far. Let's go dig into their ads. Okay. So off the rip, I'm seeing like a good balance of video and static. I love seeing that. It's always nice. You know, a lot of times now if we were to count them all, like maybe there is a skew one way or the other, but just looking at it really high level, it's good to see that there's good balance. Obviously, because they're based in Canada and they do have quite a bit of a customer base in Montreal, I see some of these running in French. Some of these ads running in French, which is pretty cool. We're gonna go ahead and click that open. So let's go into a collection pages. Ooh, this could be a Replo page. It looks like they've got like a specific sale specific collection page. A lot of really great content, a lot of style book, lookbook style content here. And then obviously like the big thing, this is really cool. Like the tabs that they have are like 70% off, 50% off on the sale. It just gives people like a great kind of offer when they go from the ad straight to the website. Let's watch one of these ads. This is interesting. I love that the caption's in French. I think what's so cool about this is that this is like a whitelisted, like kind of a partner ad as well. What I love about that is it's good that they have content creators that they can lean in to help drive traffic to their site. And obviously, I think this looks like an optometrist, which is even cooler. So it's like a combo of like, hey, here's like a professional in the space because it's like a medical grade type of product, it's eyewear. Glasses, but also like it's a content creator and this is like a fun kind of engaging ad. More statics up to 70% off. I think it's a good headline. Glasses from $45, pretty good. 2 pairs of glasses equals endless style combinations. Double up on your style and save. Let's open this one up. So and this is a standard Shopify collection page. And you know, got their filters, stylish holiday savings, save $100 when you buy 2 pairs of single vision glasses. Okay. And then just a long collection list with a lot of, you know, kind of preset filters, which is pretty great. We're curious to see this virtual try on. And then let's see. And this is just like some UGC. Nice. I'm curious to know how these test just by nature of I don't know if you can hear the audio on the last one. There's no audio that I can hear on this particular ad. I'm curious to know if this UGC works really well based on the tempo of the slide changes. It's like a slideshow. But I'm curious to know if, you know, they've tested faster tempo stuff. Oh, this one, that's got a little filter on it. Ooh, little Windows filter. That's fun. That's really cool. And again, like another like optometrist kind of angle. So they're really leaning on kind of their professional network as well, which I really think is neat. Don't compromise shall offer a wide range of eye-catching frames designed in Canada. I think this creative is really good. I do think that one thing that this brand does really, really well is they've got really engaging, really beautiful content. Like these, I mean, that's a sexy image of glasses. And it's cool that they've got the review baked into that. And again, like sometimes it's as simple as getting nice photos or getting like 1 or 2 really nice videos. If you're like just starting out, you're trying to figure out like what to test on the ads, like it's worth the effort to get stuff that looks really nice. Now we're always like, you know, big on speed and like trying to make sure that you are moving as fast as possible whenever you're creating and testing. But I'm glad that they took the time. And I know this stuff doesn't come cheap and it doesn't come fast. Usually, if you can get it fast, amazing. Can't get it cheap, wonderful. But doesn't always. I'm glad that they went and invested in getting some really high quality imagery and some high quality videos as well. All right, so we've got these two pages to look at, but let's go to the home page. So first thing, straight like optimized above the fold. Let's look at it in mobile view. Let's go to inspect. I'm gonna pull this down, and yeah, we'll keep it with the iPhone XE. I think it's a pretty standard. So as always, optimized above the fold. This hero image is wonderful. The promo, the winter sale is on. Savings to go with everything glasses is starting at $45 and free shipping. Chances are, if you saw an ad and you came to this website, you know that they sell glasses. If you just heard about it and you came here, I think it's pretty easy to figure out, okay, they sell glasses. Obviously, they call it out here. And, I'm always kind of a proponent of, if you can, try to have an evergreen hero that, obviously change out, but something that is kind of universal regardless if someone's visiting for the first time or not. But I do think that, it works here. My only thing would be I would compress, this content. There's a lot of space here. I would add some star ratings, some 5-star ratings here. And then I would make this CTA sit above the fold. I would make it full width on mobile. And yeah, I think like it's a pretty straightforward experience there. You've got a little carousel. You can toggle between men and women. It's a pretty fast experience. I like this CTA Bone Shop winter sale, which I'm sure goes to the collection. I think it's a good, well done carousel. When you have catalogs like this, where you have a lot of different styles, this is true for fashion, apparel, shoes, things like that. Being able to give people the option to very quickly sort through all of your different styles is key. Like collection pages, collection lists, making sure that those function really well, and it's very easy for someone to go through the process of discovery, because not everyone is going to resonate with this particular style. But being able to go through, are these a tortoise shell? Is that the explain the tort? I think it's pretty cool. But being able to filter through these different styles is really, really key. You want to basically get people, if you don't have like a hero SKU that you're really trying to push, you want to get people to a collection page to be able to shop across your catalog, all the different styles, as quickly as possible. And then once you're on those pages, and we'll talk about that when we look at the collection pages, you want to make sure that you can filter through them efficiently as well. And then again, shop eyeglasses on sale, and then you've got sunglasses on sale. I think this is really cool. It would probably add too much complexity to the kind of the buyer journey if to try to like segment between eyeglasses and sunglasses up here. But I do think that might be an interesting filter. Like you might, filter through women's eyewear, women's sunglasses, men's eyewear, and women's sunglasses. Again, trying to get people to that buying experience that's most ideal for whatever they're looking for at that time. But I think this content is really lovely, and obviously they've got these multiple CTAs, which make sense on mobile, especially when you have like a couple different options. Obviously, they have a male model represented here, but knowing that they're showing women first, a very kind of just small thing that may be worth testing is switching the order of the buttons and actually having men first are on the left and then women in the middle, or even all the way to the right. Reason being, most people are right-handed, so they're probably scrolling on this website one-handed. And I have an iPhone Pro Max, the big wide one, and I know that like the buttons are easier to click when they're on the right side. So something worth testing. It might be a small thing. Definitely layer in your like heat map information to see what the click-throughs are on all these buttons. But it might be worth seeing if most of your traffic is women. Like pop up Google Analytics and see, okay, 80%, 90% of our traffic is women. Like make it easier for the majority of women to shop. Most people, mathematically, I think, are whatever though statistically, I guess, are right-handed. So it's a small thing, but it's the little things like that that actually have like that can add up and make a meaningful impact. So it's something worth testing. It's like SPF for your eyes. I like that. I like that a lot. I think one of the things that's really interesting is that they have really great like brand content, or like branded like brand hits. They know their voice really well. I think that's pretty evident. This is also just really, that's a sick image. It's like a cactus or something. That's pretty cool. I want to check into this, which we'll look at desktop. I mean, I think the star ratings is good here with the little like featured reviews, email at the bottom, collabs, collections. Like I think the footer menu is pretty well oriented. I think there are ways to kind of showcase the social proof, like the star ratings, for example, further up in the page. And I think there's like definitely the homepage hero could use some of that love, like being able to layer in like little star rating here, or having even like a tiny little banner that says loved by 2,000 customers, 4.6 stars, or even just the star rating, loved by over 2,000 customers. I think it's a pretty big thing to say. And then I don't know if they were featured in any publications, but if they were, it would be great to like kind of include that somewhere. It's very small here, very subtle. So I'll hit there. We'll go back on desktop and let's actually look at the real people inspo. Oh, okay. So that's like goes straight to the specific style that that particular individual is wearing. And now we're here, and you can kind of like filter between either the glasses, the eyeglasses, or the sunglasses. We're going to talk about this buy box here in a second. Really just absolutely clutch imagery. Like this is really beautiful stuff. I would honestly, like, I think these studio shots are great, but because they have so much good imagery and in a lot of different lighting, and like on face versus off, I would actually prioritize like some of these images that they have further down, like further up. Obviously these white studio shots, these are like a little bit more elevated than your standard, like, product on white. But that being said, I still do think that it would be worthwhile to have some of these lifestyle images further up top. Lenses, like I like the little details. See what happens when you click into these. Goes to a different page. That's a lot of content. Let's actually take a moment to look at all this content. I mean, this is quite a bit of content. There's obviously like, vision types and such, but how thick will my lenses be? I think this is really interesting. Like a little feature call out. This is the kind of information that would actually be very, very valuable on the product page itself. Whether it's like a collapsible, like, if this kind of clicked and you expanded that, or if it was like a dedicated section, I would honestly prioritize that above this section because it is so important. Because it is a product where you got to try it on, you got to make sure you like the style, but there's also like the prescription element of it in the sense of you got to make sure they actually work for you. You can actually see through these things. Being able to showcase this is really important. And I'm assuming, I would, this is just like the standard refund policy page. I'm glad this content exists. I would try to make this a little bit more visual, both on that returns and policies page, whether it's like a nice image with a chart, some icons, or again, like I would probably put that somewhere in this buy box element as well, just as it's in the same way that you would show a secure payment method button. You would want to show that the returns are easy and you want people to know that the returns are going to be simple, it's hassle free, and you've got that 30-day return period. With like around your add to cart button, I would say right below probably the Sezzle, the buy now, pay later, but above the wish list, so that it reduces risk. And it could just be a simple icon badge, like, this with this text kind of written in small letters right below it. Literally just like screenshot this, have someone in Upwork spend $5, make a little icon that you add right here, like right below. But I think that goes a long way in reducing the kind of the activation energy of earning someone's trust in this buying experience. Real people, real styles. We've got Sonia, which is the style we're on currently, tweed, and the along. You kind of filter through. I think this is really interesting, like kind of real world way to show the different styles that you offer. I would recommend adding just like a standard like collection list of like, you know, products you may love type of thing. And if you have the ability, the time really, to go look at customers who have bought more than one style, and you can, you know, maybe feed that data into GPT and have it start to put together some light correlation stuff on like, oh, okay, people who buy the Sonia are very much likely to buy the Along. You can also just kind of make that like assumption or understanding, like if you understand your customer well enough, and I'm confident that this team does, being able to just go in and say, okay, cool, like we're going to adjust this, and this, or we're going to showcase these specific styles because we know that the type of person that buys this particular style would be interested in this other type of style. But yeah, I mean, I think the big thing is like these two, like this content should live within the PDP. It should live within pretty much all the PDPs, especially in the lens thickness stuff. And because they're like additional costs, you know, get some upsell revenue there. And the warranties and returns, like it's a symbol of trust that needs to be right below that add to cart button. Let's talk about the buy box itself. One of the things I do love that they show like the difference between like eyeglasses and sunglasses so vividly. Like it's very, very clear for me, like what the two different types are. My only recommendation is, and this is something I know you can pull in Replo. You can't always pull this off. Not everyone's team can do this, but when you click it, obviously you're actually activating an entirely new product. One of the beautiful parts about, you know, being able to build stuff in Replo is that you can actually update the current product. You can there's like a really great interaction. So you don't have to necessarily load a new page. You know, it doesn't affect your speed. It just might feel a little smoother. It's a little bit of a little hiccup. I don't think most customers really care that much, but it is a small tweak that could have a dramatic impact that would be worth testing. And then obviously you've got the different styles. I do love how quickly everything updates. These three main hero products. It'd be nice too if you had some of the lifestyle images in some of these other colors. I'm sure they don't exist in the same way for every single product, but again, nice thing to have. I do think that this part updates pretty well. I'm, you know, always kind of like skeptical of swatches in general because it doesn't always communicate the specificity of the design, depending on what it is. I think it's actually done fairly well here. I think they've actually gone to great lengths to make sure that these swatches are as representative of the color as possible. It's usually the swatches that I don't like are the ones where it's just like the default color or like one hex code pulled from an image. But I think this is pretty well done. Sizes, a couple different sizes, vision type, single vision, reading without prescription, multifocals. I think this is interesting. So single vision's unavailable, reading's unavailable, without the prescription unavailable, multifocals, book an appointment. I think this is a pretty cool flow. Help you choose. Great little modal that explains. I think that's probably well done. Let's take a peek at this on the mobile side. Okay, that might just be an issue with this. I'd have to pull this up on my phone. I do like the little sale tag. I do think that the price should be kind of restated right below the add to cart button. And then since this says unavailable, rather than just saying unavailable, I think this is a great opportunity to have like a contact form where you can go in and, you know, fill out a form. It pipes into your CRM, and then people can be notified when it's back in stock. I think that's a really, really, really nice play to have. And it should always be done. Let's see, let's book an appointment. Let's see where that goes. Community center glasses store, in-store services and locations. I think this is pretty good. I'm glad that they have this kind of stuff listed above. And someone's on this page, they're really, you know, going to check things out. They're going to read this. And then stores with eye exams. I think that's really great toggle to have. No major notes here, honestly. I think this is pretty great. Let's go back. Actually, let's flip over to one of their ad pages. So this is right after someone clicks on one of the ads on the sale, and they go here and they can see 70% off, 50% off, different styles. One of the things that we're still trying to work on the Replo side is making sure that there are really great product collection filters. I'm assuming this page is built in Replo, and I do think this is kind of beautifully done. Obviously, this links to their large sale collection page, which does have filters. It's kind of baked into their theme. Whenever possible, have the filters. It's really, really clutch. And obviously, I'm going to call out, like, this is something that we're actively working on to fix for our customers, for people using Replo. But again, like, it just helps people find the style that they really want, especially when you have a large catalog, a lot of different styles for people to filter through. Really great imagery here. What does this do? Oh, it goes to a specific product page. I like that they have this listed as well. I think this imagery is amazing. Shop the winter sale. Again, great, really consistent CTA there. And then obviously being able to filter between the 70% off and the 50% off. It's fun to see. Like, you know, obviously 70% off is a huge offer. I think it's amazing. But yeah, I think this is pretty well done. Filtering is the only thing I would add, and I think that's probably a limitation on the Replo side. So something we will work on. My big takeaways here, to like condense it down in just a couple of seconds, just a little bit to close off. Make sure my face doesn't look actually, you know what? Yeah, let's do the goofiest looking face that I possibly can. Homepage optimization, I think driving to collection pages as soon as possible. Really great. Maybe adding a couple of filters on the eyeglasses within that main like collection catalog. Like adjusting the order of the buttons on the mobile to kind of prioritize women first on the right, like for right-handed folks, just mathematically speaking. There's so much gold in the lenses content page that can be added to the product pages. I think it's a very simple fix. You already have the content built. You can drop those sections into your product page templates really, really quickly. Adding the warranty and returns right below the CTA. Adjusting any sold out or unavailable buttons to also show a form where you can be notified when it's back in stock. And doing everything you possibly can, every single thing you possibly can to showcase how neat this is. Show it in your ads, show it on your homepage, show it in your PDPs, show it in your collection pages. Every single possible place you can. Get a GIF made. It should not take much time at all. It's like probably $10 on Upwork if you really needed someone to do it, or Fiverr. But this is such a clutch feature, and it's a small thing that goes a very, very long way in gaining someone's trust before they make the purchase. And for a product as specific and as kind of required to be tuned to the individual as glasses, especially prescription glasses, this bridges that gap so much. Between this virtual try-on and the 30-day warranty, like those two pieces of information need to be showcased as much as possible on the site. And I think those small tweaks alone would be a significant CRO boost, conversion rate boost. So that's like the really quick Rodeo for Bonlook. One of the things that we will probably do at a later time is go even deeper in their funnels. And we'll probably do that with their team. Maybe we can get them on one of these episodes live and have a little bit more of a discourse than me just kind of rattling things off. But that's what I think Bonlook should prioritize in like the next 14 days to start improving their conversion rates. And I really glad we got a chance to look at this as a group, as a family. And I am excited to see you next time on another episode of the CRO Rodeo. CRO Rodeo. I can't even say the thing right. I'll see you soon on another CRO Rodeo. Take care.